give us the privilege to welcome three changemakers, amazing, inspirational women that are coming from different parts of the world. Each one of them bringing, like their very deep personality and statement for women empowerment and advocacy for diversity and cultural, empowerment as well. So let me, our dear friends, welcome on your behalf Omnia, Yolanda, and Valentina. I would like, first of all, to start into, the reality of this session by telling you we need now more than ever to smile and to have hope. So, first question for you: what is giving you hope today and maybe tomorrow? What is giving you hope, Omnia?
Well, first of all, hello everyone. I'm really honored to be here with you today, and I look forward also to hear from the other ladies and be inspired by them and by the talk. Thank you very much, Jonathan, for this opportunity. And it's an amazing question. What's giving me hope in these tough times that we are facing today in the world? First thing that comes to my mind is the unity that we are experiencing now. For a very long time, I feel that the world felt that every country has its own challenges, its own differences. People are moving in different directions, although technology is bringing us together for at least the recent 10 years. But what I feel that the recent circumstances that the world was facing, COVID and the other traumas, unfortunately, it's been tough circumstances, but I also felt that these things are also bringing hope that we are a united community as a human. And we are also united with our nature, with our planet. I feel that this awareness of this unity became more clear recently due to the tough circumstances that we've been facing. So this is actually what's giving me hope. People like the ladies that I'm with now and you, Jonathan, and all those who are here to serve the rest of humanity, not only their own close communities, but who care about everyone on this earth. And we're chatting and hearing about Valentina's amazing work in places that are so far away from where she's from and she's based.
Thank you, Omnia. Thank you. I'm recharging my hope battery, so this is good. I like your energy and your statement on that. Yolanda, you make us the privilege to join us from Latin America. Last time we met, it was during a very powerful Wisest forum in Geneva, and you were, like at the time, shaping the digital transformation of Mexico. The full country. Imagine that, and now you continue, in many endeavors. Continuing to innovate, continuing to bring innovation to support empowering people. So, Yolanda, what is giving you hope?
I'm very motivated. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share. I had a great time meeting. Is it working now? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you for the invitation and thank you for this amazing opportunity. I'm very inspired by Omnia's stories and Valentina's amazing adventures in Nepal. And what brings me hope is to see the commitment. I work now with different governments in Latin America and in their digital strategies and the commitment that they have to really use technology to transform how government interacts with citizens. And I think after a year of a pandemic, technology show out how positive it is when you have a clear strategy on how to use it to communicate, to serve better, to handle a pandemic and to make everyone more safe. So that really motivates me. Every time I join a conversation like this, is my morning, so I'm very motivated to start my day like this. And then have a lot of other meetings with different governments around Latin America, and to see the commitment, of public servants that are really trying to do their best. My whole admiration to all public servants around the world, because the last year and this year has been so tough. Working remotely, providing everyone services so the government keeps running, services keep running, and I totally agree with Omnia that working together, collaborating, having these spaces to get to know what everyone is doing and trying to find convergence on how we can create more impact is something that motivates me.
Yolanda, thank you so much, and we will go more into the details of what you are doing at the present time. Valentina, it's a privilege and pleasure to see you. Not so long ago, you were, visiting the beauty of Mediterranean Sea. So Mediterranean Sea has a history and of mixity and culture and diversity. That's maybe where we will be able, like to find some of the solutions, some of the good ingredients that might lead, to woman empowerment and to more balanced approach between, like the genders. What are your thoughts on that regard? Is traveling the world and meeting great people giving you hope as well to see, like the position and the situation of women improving over time? What is your driver at the moment, Valentina?
Thank you, Jonathan. Sorry, but I could not hear Yolanda answer because of microphone problem. But I will ask later the session, Jonathan, to repeat again. Thank you for having me here again for the third time. I'm very happy to share my thought and my opinion with all of you. Traveling, of course, it gives it's very inspiring to travel a lot. Before the COVID situation, I was traveling much more, and now after 1 year and a half, I take the chance to take the car and drive from Switzerland all the way down through Italy and visit different country, different region of Italy, and Malta as well for the second time. And it's beautiful to meet people. Some of them you see in the face sadness, but some of them they have energy to react, and this is what it gives me hope, because when you see people that have energy to start and fight against this we can call war. I think it's a right word to use. It's well to stay connect good people with the right energy, because we can share our thought and positivity, optimism. And through my trips, I met wonderful women. But I can say thanks to the technology of social media as well, especially Instagram. During the lockdown, I met incredible people in a digital way, and we became very good friends. We built very strong relationship, even if people live in different countries. Like I have friends who lives in South Africa, in Japan, in Monte Carlo, and now I met Yolanda from Mexico and Omnia from Jordan. So I'm very happy about this internationality, and to see that there are more women that we have the same thought together, and we can fight together for a better world.
Thank you, Valentina. Thank you so much for your words. Omnia, if we can go to your current endeavor, you are someone that has really looked at the many angles on how you could, bring concrete solution and concrete impact for women in the geographies that you are involved and beyond. So could you, share with us what is your current, endeavor, and what is the potential about it, and how can this support bringing part of the solutions to empower women internationally?
Yes, Jonathan. Thank you for this question. Actually, my current endeavor started just as empowering people with public speaking in general. I started with mainly people who are below 18 years old, young people. And then after COVID situation, I expanded my service to go to aspiring leaders as well as senior leaders. And now I work kind of with focus to female senior leaders, where I found a huge common challenge that women from around the world share together. When we tackle the idea, the concept of public speaking or the skills of public speaking, usually we only talk about the skills, the techniques, what we should learn, how to move, the tone of our voice. But what's beyond that? Asking people to be inspiring for others, starts from inspiring ourselves by our own stories. And this is what I discovered just recently, to be honest. And this is how I try to work with women to find their own confidence, because the main challenge that we face is that, I mean, especially those who are challenged with public speaking, is that they don't have self confidence because they don't see their own stories as inspiring. They don't see their own journey as something truly phenomenal and exciting to share with the world. So, what we do is really fishing for these inner stories and be personally inspired by our own stories to be able to share them in an inspiring way with others. This is what I currently focus on. And this is one aspect, especially with female leaders in senior positions who have reached amazing places in their career, have done transformation in other people's lives, but they still have some challenges with finding peace within themselves, being in continuous fight. And I here would like to kind of challenge the word war, because just the idea of saying that we're in a war puts anxiety upon us. But if we say that we are in a journey, and any interesting journey have obstacles, and you find this mainly as a main example here, games that teenagers play. If the games have no challenges, they wouldn't play them. But somehow, somewhere, we forgot that we lost the sense of being excited by these challenges with time. But if we see life as just an exciting journey, an exciting game that we are moving along, enjoying every single step of the way, the challenges more than the smoothness of it, life becomes more peaceful for us. Life becomes more interesting and more joyful. And we can then reflect on every single step and see the beauty in every single level that we passed, we overcame, and we went up to the next level, rather than saying, I won a war, which it feels exhausting, the word, we won a war. We've been through a big fight. But if we said, now we are up to the next level, we reach the next level and then the next level, it sounds a little better. It sounds exciting to go forward and to continue. So this is what I try to do, not only with senior leaders, but also with teenagers and with young people, children who have been, let's say, this COVID-19, this pandemic that we all have been through and been challenged by. I think they faced the most, or they got the most of the harm out of it. And when our parents, when you're a child and your parents are already overwhelmed with everything, it becomes even more difficult for them to support you. So this is the second, or the other part of what I do, is trying to help these people now overcome the insecurities they're feeling inside, overcome their social fear and anxiety, and being more open to the world while trusting themselves and loving themselves and accepting the challenges as part of the game and part of the journey.
Omnia, thank you so much. I think that everyone, when we have an overdose of news on the COVID and whatever else, subject which is, completely, like creating noise in our life and removing dreams, we should have a little dose of Omnia, I think. You should think of doing, like a CD and giving us, like a 5 minute, 10 minutes, like per day. So we can have back, like the rainbows and the light and the colors and the flowers in our life. I like very much what you say, Omnia, and I am super interested to learn more and to see, how we can, like collaborate further on that, because everything is about, like the perception and how we perceive and how we take something and we plant it into a seed to grow something that can become a tree and with fruits and life, or that will be, like something with no life. And so intention, as well as the way we are getting, creating the readiness to receive a message, to receive a thought, to receive, like an interaction, to receive someone, to receive the difference, is actually, like the opening of the journey for collaboration. And this is, like what we are now, building this stand up. This is a stand up when we are meeting all together from different parts of the world. We are standing up to hate. We are standing up, like to fear. We are standing up, like to what divides us. And we are commonly, like saying we are capable to be all together working for greater good. So thank you so much for what you say, and we will definitely continue that. If I turn now myself to Yolanda, so what's going on now in Latin America? Are we going, to have Latin America the greatest place for women empowerment in the world because of you? Tell us the secret.
Definitely. Please go in, learn. I'm sure you're gonna really have a good time, especially with Mexican cuisine, which I really love, and the beaches. But besides that, no, I'm extremely motivated. I have the great fortune to collaborate with different international organizations that work with e-government leaders. And when I see that commitment, and when I see more women getting into chief digital innovation officers at national level, like Marushka Chocoban in Peru, like Aura Cifuentes in Colombia. It's just amazing how important it is to keep empowering girls and women in tech to drive change. And when we use technology as a public policy, we can really change the way government delivers digital services. We can really create a more empathetic ecosystem where technology really changed the perception of citizens. And when you think about Latin America, our biggest challenge is inequality. Our biggest challenge is that we are a region extremely rich on natural resources, extremely rich on tourism, and still we have a huge inequality in terms of poverty and quality of education. So the more we can do to help governments work in a data-driven public policymaking model, the more we can contribute with open government initiatives to have more transparency, to fight corruption. That do not comes easy. You have been in WISIS, you have share how important it is to work in the open, to collaborate, to promote regional integration. I think that's something that is extremely important in Latin American. The difference between European Union or the Arab League, like in the case of ONIA, is that in Latin America, we don't have a federation. We have different blocks of countries like Alianza del Pacifico or Mercosur. So technology, the good thing is that can leverage collaboration, can leverage digital economy because internet doesn't have frontiers. So the more we encourage, the more we work with governments to realize how important it is to have digital transformation as a state policy, to leverage and to close very deep development gaps, that where we can make a difference. And it's great to see how most of the countries in the region have been putting a lot of attention in digital inclusion policies, in working, in really introducing the digital dimension under that national education curriculum, because when you reach those levels, when you work with the most vulnerable population groups in closing the digital gap, not only having good quality of connectivity, but skills. It's amazing. I recently graduated from my PhD. I finally made it, and I really enjoyed my research because I had the opportunity to collaborate with 64 women from the cash transfer program in Mexico. And the whole project had a duration of a year. And the purpose was to see how women get empowered when you teach them digital skills according to what they think is relevant for their own development. And it's amazing to see how these women, during the process of this year policy intervention, they gain more independence on how they use their devices and internet at home. They get more empowered on how they can manage difficult situations, like, for example, having the opportunity to make an anonymous claim because of violence in their house, or how they can improve their micro business because they learn how important it is to have a blog, or that they can, make a video on how they do your hair and put it on YouTube. It's just amazing how women get empowered when they know how technology can be used on their own, for their own good as well as their family needs. So I'm very motivated, and I hope to see all of you in Latin America very soon.
Yolanda, thank you so much and congratulations for what you announced us. But this is not a surprise for us that know you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Valentina, you are into the arena that Yolanda mentioned, which is, like information and internet and social media. You are, leveraging social media as a influencer for good. You are an influencer for good. You use social media to bring joy, happiness, up in many ways, and to spread, positive energy. What is it giving you as, a motivation, as an energy, and at the same time, can it be, like a new way for people and for women to get, more access by developing their skills in social media for gaining, like their own independence from, like a professional aspect or a personal aspect or an access to information aspect. What would be your thought about that, Valentina?
Yes. So my thought is that using is very important, not only to
Valentina, sorry, we don't hear you. Can you retry? Can you retry now? Valentina? Valentina, you are with us on the line?
Un quarto d'ora. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, I lost the connection. I'm very sorry.
No problem. So Valentina,
So
can
I
you
was
tell
saying
us?
that using social is very important to
Line is not good. Okay, so let's continue while Valentina will connect with us. Yolanda, could you, tell us from your experimentation now, what's going on, like in Latin America? We see that some movements of populations are happening in many countries. People, having this extra challenges with COVID on top of the current endemic inequalities. Looks like this is acting as a catalyst for extra hope for change. Can it be transformed into something positive on the long term and not be just, be subject to the political play that is unfortunate most of the time and putting people against each other? Can it be a force for good coming out from these challenges we are facing? And how can you see this as a potential progress for women over the long term?
No, I think it's definitely a positive movement. And I think we started with Chile in October, way before the pandemic, when the students became the protest because of an increase in the transport pricing model. And that ended up in a new assembly that is writing the new constitution. And Chile is one of the most advanced countries in the regions, at least with the most advanced indicators in terms of economic development and poverty reduction. So even in a country that is so well from the economic standpoint of view, you still have hope. And you have a movement that started with young students that finished it up even with the pandemic, in a new process to write a new constitution. So this is going to be a very interesting democratic process to be pending, and I invite everyone to get involved in the process. It's the first time that the assembly that is writing the constitution is truly multicultural. You have, indigenous people sitting there. You have people from all the regions in Chile sitting there. And then when you see what keeps happening, you have Colombia. Colombia with a great pushing on in terms of innovation, a lot of investment on technology, a lot of investment in attracting talent, and we still see challenges since with a lot of people having protests. So I think what is going on is a movement where first of all we have the freedom of expression, and that freedom of expression is respected, but actually is focused into leading very transformational reforms and change in our countries. And when you analyze within those movements how important it is that women speak up, that women get organized. Chile also, remember these girls, las tesis, became extremely vital. And you have this, like women movement that really express in a song a lot of things that were happening. So I think what is next is to really leverage that energy into changes in the institutional regimes and in terms of very deep reforms that can provide a more equalized opportunity for everyone to benefit from a world that is definitely evolving extremely fast and more with technology. So I'm super positive that this is something good for the region and that technology is doing its part in terms of making a message scalable, in terms of democratizing access to what is going on in different parts of the world, and especially in creating connections. And when you create connections with people, it doesn't matter where we are, and here is an example, that have and share a mindset, that share the spirit, you can definitely make something extremely powerful that goes beyond any frontier.
Thank you so much, Yolanda. Thank you so much for updating us on the current trends in Latin America. Valentina, so we were, tackling, like the aspect of social media and how social media is, as we know, a double axe. It can be a force for good, and unfortunately, sometimes it is as well a force for division. So you are an influencer using it as a force for inspiration. What could you say, or what are the advice or thoughts you could share with us for the women listening to us today and beyond, that can leverage social media as a force for good to help them in their maybe financial independence, in their future job, in their access to their dreams, or in connecting with people around the world that will be helping them to grow on their own journey?
Exactly. If you use well social media, you can really help a lot of people. And I have to say something that I changed the way to communicate on social media about 2 years and a half ago. Because before, when I started to open my social, it was more focused on events, fashion, and travel. And I opened all my social media in 2011, 2012. And after a few years, I opened in 2015 a charity association. And then I start all my charity project in Nepal, as I was telling the girls before. I went myself in Nepal to give some help in first person, and I asked the local people in community what they need. And so after that, I realized, what can I do really? And then I do like a reportage of everything, every single step I was doing in my social media. And then I realized that it was very important to share this behind the scene as well, step by step. I built an orphanage. I'm very proud that two buildings, two dormitory, and one living area for 30 people, 30 children from 5 up to 16 years old. So they are now having a better life. I'm always in contact with them through WhatsApp, sometimes video call. We exchange photos. And 2 years ago, I win the Philanthropy World Bloggers Award. And this opened me the eyes to change completely the way to communicate on social media, because before it was more based on appearance and fashion lifestyle. And now it's more based on showing that we can help other people as well. And it's not only about helping, it is very, very nice, when you give a better future to children. But then I realized that also around us, in my own country, Switzerland, or in Italy, some people need advice and need help how to become more independent. And 2 years ago, I started to give a life coach, a digital coach, on how using Instagram also to create a financial independence. So every week, with my partners in Paris, we are giving a free class where we teach some tips in how to use better Instagram, Facebook, and how can we, create our digital business, and how can we create our financial freedom as well. Because during my trip, I met girls working in the hotel, and they were complaining, I'm not happy about this work. And then I say, okay, would you like to have more financial freedom to do what you like, and especially to work with who you love and with who you like? And this is the most important things.
Thank you so much, Valentina. Thank you so much. We need as well to reinvent the new forms of communication. Like when we want to learn, looking at historical books is a great way, because then we understand we are not coming from scratch. We don't start now. The game has started much earlier. There was many challenges. This is not the first pandemic in the world. This is not the first, challenges humanity is facing. So we have, if we go back to learning from our peers, from our ancestors, we can learn a lot from their mistakes most of the time, and as well sometimes from some good that happened at the time. And this is now, again, we have to rewrite the solutions of tomorrow based on all of that, and this is a continuation. So there is no reason to despair. We have been able to go through much worse than what is happening now, and look, we are capable, to communicate. We are capable, to smile, in Latin America, in Africa, in Europe, in some island, in Mediterranean. So this is amazing. This is amazing. So to the women and the people that are listening to us today, I just would like to tell you, this is a huge opportunity for taking some time for yourself, taking some time, for the ones you love, taking some time, to reflect on what is important in your life, and taking some time on how you can help and give back. Because if we are where we are, it's because we have received somewhere, for sure, 100%, from some people, starting from our mother and fathers, starting, from our ancestors. We receive 100%. If you have your DNA, that's some, kind of vaccine sometimes when you want to, to do some stuff with. This DNA is the continuation of all those generations and generations that find a way to live together. So there is no reason to despair. There are a lot of reasons to hope, actually. So, Omnia, I would like to go back to you. So you are helping, youth generation, but as well, people that are have access, to posts of responsibilities in society. So we know that the society we are living in is a lot of driven by ambition. The aim is, most of the time, you have to get to the seat, no matter how, no matter, like the principle you will go over or forget or do this or do that. People look at the end result. They want, to take the power and to live in that power. And then when they have the power, they want to reclaim the power for themselves. This is a little bit caricatural, but this is unfortunately a little bit the society we are experimenting in different parts of the world. So my question to you is, when you are helping those women, when you are helping them to gain access to that position of power, are you seeing that something is changing and that they want, to share and give back and make something positive? Because we have to change the end of the game. The end of the game has not to repeat itself. We have to have a good ending to the game. So what are your thoughts about that?
This is a very important question, Jonathan, and I resonate so much with that. Coming originally from Libya, which is a country that has been struggling between a dictator for 42 years, then those who are fighting to reach the seat, as you say, and they hold the seat, or that's their total ambition. And when they are there, that they don't do good. So it's a continuous challenge that humanity is facing, and I would say especially my region with the Arab Spring and after the aftermath of the Arab Spring that we've been facing. Now, specifically talking about women, I think history, although I have to say, I have to declare that I'm not a person who would put differences, huge differences between men and women and the characteristics and so on, because I believe that we share so much that we don't know that we share. The problem is in the connection. The problem is not in the nature of each one of us. But I think because of the connection, many of the male leaders in the world were the ones that are holding the seat, staying in the seat, and not doing well with the seat. But also, history and our current situation show us that a lot of women leaders globally are doing much better. And I feel that's also because of connection aspect, because now there are so many communities that are around women, that are empowering women and reminding women how to connect deeper with themselves and how to be inspiring and how to live up to their feminine nature with a feminine type of leadership rather than going to another type of leadership and trying just to hold power and act upon it, but be the kind, loving, yet strong and firm leader that she needs to be. Now, with the ladies that I work with, I feel that the main struggle is not really about holding the seat when they're there. The main struggle is about this part of leadership when the connection was not established in a healthy way from the very first place, when our mind and the unconscious mind, because it became a habit, start telling us that when we sit with male counterparts that have been ahead of us in the game, then we have to be anxious and we have to be defensive, and then we have to act beyond our nature to be able to fulfill the demand of the seed that we are in. All of this distracts us from acting out of service, from acting out of love, which is the nature of humans, that I would say many of the males have kind of forgot about it because of the society demand from them, not because of their own nature, but because of the demand of the societies. Now, that's happening to women. It's kind of, they are being infected by that sometimes, having to be or feeling the necessity to be there and to be up to the game and feeling that maybe I'm not good enough because these ones are stronger. People listen to them more. They're more firm. They're more scary. So I have to be scary. Or somebody else might take my seat, so I have to be protective of myself, because if I'm not, nobody will protect me. All of these insecurities that a normal human usually have are the ones that, in my opinion, make us not do well when we should be in service, when we are in the seat and we should be in service. So I feel that especially those in leadership positions are the most in need for guidance and coaching and someone to remind them of who they are and why they've been desiring the seat in the first place. Now, desiring the seat for the wrong reasons, for just the power, for just the authority, that's the wrong reason. That leads us usually to dictatorship or not serving and well and having conflicts in the workplace. And I see a lot of people who have conflict in the workplace, especially women whom their leaders are women. And here we feel the competition and insecurities happening between both, because if I took this place, then maybe somebody else can take it from me if she's better than me. So I feel that what everybody needs to have, again, is someone that reminds us of our initial intention And not only that, even before we reach the seat, we need someone to guide us or to help us desire things for the right place, for the right reason. So not only wanting things, because most, I would say globally, 10 years ago, everything was about financial independence, but in the wrong way. It was about building wealth. Sales was about convincing people to give you money. So it's more of a manipulation than persuasion. It's more than, rather than serving people, it's just convincing them and getting the money. If you get the money, then you're winning. But now I feel that things are changing. Now people see sales differently. Now people see being of service and having financial independence. And I will also would love to hear what Valentina says about that. They're seeing it differently now. Financial independence happening when you do something that you love and that can serve humanity around you. And this is becoming more and more and more popular, and this is something that's giving me so much hope for the global community. So back to your question, Jonathan, the first thing is about the intention. Why do they want the seat? And second, to have the empowerment to stay in your position and be reminded of why did you want the seat, and how can you be a leader while without losing your own self being in that seat. So the seat shouldn't be the poison for yourself.
Omnia, thank you so much. I'm impressed by so much wisdom that you are sharing today with all of us, and it's so refreshing. And I think, like again, I stress it. It's not we say in French, un effet de manche. This is real. We really should, write books on that, and have, things maybe digitally done, so people that are in position of exercising, like leadership, really can understand that what they have is an opportunity to serve. When you are in a position of power, this is a responsibility and an opportunity to serve. This is not an opportunity to take. So thank you so much for tracing those very deep words. Yolanda, I would like to go back to you, because Latin America now looks like this is the place for digital currency to take over, and El Salvador is going, now maybe to become the new New York. So what's happening there? Do we have to move there, or is it going to happen everywhere, or is it just El Salvador?
Definitely, I think you guys are ready to come and enjoy Latin America richness, cultural heritage, and innovation. No, I think what Salvador is doing is just the result of having a president that is very young and a president that is not afraid of testing new things. And that really gives me hope. When you see everything that is going on in Latin America, you see these young leaders really challenging the status quo, challenging that, yes, you can be below 35 and be a president. Yes, you can change the currency. Why? Because why not? You can see these great unicorns coming from Chile, from Argentina, from Brazil, from Mexico, really challenging the innovation ecosystem worldwide. And that really gives me hope, because is why not? Why we cannot do it? We have everything that everyone has. We think, we can imagine, we can put that imagination into action. We can work together, we can find partners, we can find investors, we can do it. And that really motivates me to keep collaborating with the digital and innovation ecosystem in the region, because we have people, coming back from different parts of the world, creating great things. And an example is Mexico. You probably know tequila. I'm from Jalisco. That we have a denomination of origin, so tequila is well known around the world. And then a few years ago, we have all these entrepreneurs living in Europe in wineries, and they start coming back. And now we have Valle de Guadalupe, which is an amazing countryside with a lot of boutique wineries doing a lot of innovation. And you never thought about wine complementing tequila and mezcal. And we have great wine. So that's just an example of how we can really become a great place to live, to accomplish your dreams, And I totally share what Omnia say. You need to find the thing that you love. You need to find those things that when you can serve, of course, get paid and have the life that you want, whatever that is, because self-realization is something extremely personal. So I totally agree with Omnia and Valentina that financial freedom comes with a new mindset. The freedom and realization is when you serve, when you put your knowledge to serve others, when you put your knowledge, in my case, to make digital government better, when you democratize access to services, when you empower women that under the confinement have a WhatsApp digital service that allow them to make complaints of things that were not right while the confinement. Those type of things were probably very hard the last pandemic. This pandemic and the future to come, because we are humans, so we will have more world challenges coming ahead, just show us that the more we create technology and science, and the more we put that technology, that science, that knowledge uh, into the right place and with the right energy, that can really push us to do incredible things. I was very motivated to see, to hear Valentina entrepreneurship in Nepal, building an orphanage and being dealt with the floods, and it's just amazing. It's just, to me, it's just every time I hear this type of stories, it really motivates me to do what I do every day the best I can, putting my entire energy and knowledge to really work with digital teams in Latin America and the Caribbean in making and building very digital societies. So um, I would say Latin America has a lot more to share with the world. And I encourage you, all of you, to come to the region.
Well, Yolanda, thank you so much. We are, dear friends and colleagues, arriving, like to the close of the ending of this session. I would like just maybe in a 1 minute statement, that you share with us um, some words and some thoughts that can be like a seed, like a gift for the woman and men that will be listening to us, but more in particular the women around the world. Valentina, what will be those words you would like to share with women listening to us at the moment and beyond?
I would like to share that we talk about helping others, and other we talk about in independence, financial freedom as well. And the message I would like to share to end this beautiful session after meeting beautiful people is that our success is based on other people's success. So if what we are doing is great, then we succeed because the other people that we help, they succeed, and then they is returned back to us. So when the people that we help, they succeed, they are happy and they are healthy, then it's back to us.
Super.
Totally agree.
Amazing.
Thank you, Valentina. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Omnia, what will be your words for citizens of the world and women in particular?
I would direct my message to those who wish to see a global peace happening as much as possible is to first focus on having inner peace. I've met so many ladies and so many people who are working hard towards finding peace and having peace in wherever they are and in the community they're in. But deep inside of them, they have so many insecurities and challenges and limiting beliefs and so many struggles. So they are in conflict inside. So before doing anything outside or while doing so much outside, focus as well on yourself. Have inner peace, seek inner peace. And that inner peace that you'd have will bring you so much peace, will reflect into so much peace to everybody around you, whomever you work with. So start with yourself, truly, with love, and watch the miracles that would happen around you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Omnia. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful, for the creation of the universe to us, like given us such a wisdom, like empowered person like you. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
words and what you
Thank
do.
you.
Yolanda, Yolanda, we miss you. You have to come back to Europe a little bit.
Definitely.
You give the best for Latin American people. We understand that, but we need your creativity as well here. So Yolanda,
I will. I
what will be your words for all the people that are seeds of change makers?
Empowerment. Empower yourself, empower others, help others. I totally agree with Valentina say. Every time you give, you give, you give, you receive from different areas, from different angles of the world. So really empower yourself, empower others, find your passion, pursue it, collaborate, look for people that you really, really inspire about what they do and get together, talk to them. I really enjoy Valentina's stories. I was in the confinement, but I met people around the world because I have internet and I have Instagram. So really leverage the power that technology have to really connect you to any place in the world and with any people that you really want to talk to. To me, this is an amazing time for young people to really leverage how great it is to literally have the world in their hands every time they use the internet. So use that power for good. Use that power to find people that share your passion, share your ideas, to make connections, to innovate, and to really transform your community and the communities around you.
Thank you.
Yolanda, thank you so much. We will have to rename, like the title of this session. This is a 1 hour empowerment, like session to get, like positive to the max level. So thank you so much. It was a privilege and pleasure to share thoughts and listen to all of you. This is beautiful. It gives a lot of hope. It gives as well a lot of willingness to continue to serve and move forward. So much has to be accomplished, but with so much positive energy, so much empathy, so much wish for inner peace and global peace, and respect of people's diversity, we can make it happen. So looking forward, our next exchanges offline, our next building up of the synergies and partnership of tomorrow, and really a privilege to have shared that session with the three of you. Thank you so much. And we are now going to go into our last plenary sessions in a few minutes. Thank you so much all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you very much.
Thank you. So
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you
Thank you to
all.
all.
Bye bye. Thank you, Jonathan.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Great
you.
end of the
Bye.
session. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Omnia, let's exchange our contact.
Yes.
Maybe we can
let
ask
me send
Jessica, or I don't know, because if we write here is complicated. But maybe we can ask
you.
Jonathan.
We're still live. I think we're still live.
Oh, really?
But yes.